a world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone. A world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction. Nice try, but you were a second early. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tyr Astra Academy. My name's Galway. I am one of the founders of Helpful Goat Gaming, creator of the world of Tyr, and your GM for tonight. Before I turn things over to the stars of this evening's entertainment, a few quick housekeeping matters. First, as I mentioned, this is Helpful Goat Gaming. We are a small independent game design and game content creation community. We'd absolutely love it if you hung out with us, if you watched some of our content, if you participated in our community. The best way to do that is use !Discord in the chat if you're watching on Twitch, or check out the description below if you're on YouTube or in the podcast. But below doesn't really apply. Okay. Anyway, digression. To join, get a link to join our Discord. We do movie nights, game days, reading corners, hang out, play all kinds of games, play internal games that never appear on Twitch or YouTube. So please check it out. We stream multiple times a week. Usually, holidays get weird. Don't quote me on multiple times a week. Here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. We are affiliate, which means you can cheer and subscribe, both of which support us financially. Cheering cheers bits, and subscribing, which you can do for free if you have Twitch Prime through Amazon Prime. Now I think they call it Amazon Gaming. I don't remember. They keep changing the name on it. But anyway, you get a free sub for a month. If you don't use it with us, please use it with somebody, because it makes a huge difference for small and mid-sized content creators. A couple other ways to support us if you are so inclined. Use the coffee command, !KO-FI, to get our coffee page, which lets you donate directly to us. And if you would like some merch with your financial support of the goats and the artists who support the goats, !merch gets you our merch store. We have lots of items from Tyr, lots of items from Fates of Rin, lots of just Helpful Goat stuff, lots of strange quotes that I have turned into stickers. Have fun. Apply them to random light posts and see who gets confused. And then I think besides that, !donate, we here at Helpful Goat like to direct attention to causes. In the wake of the shooting in Colorado Springs, we have a charity that benefits LGBTQ youth in Colorado Springs area with a variety of support. So we encourage you to check that out. Programming next week. Someone help me.
I'm pulling up the calendar, but I would bet money that Fates of Rin is back.
I was gonna say probably Fates of Rin is back on Friday.
That feels right.
Not sure we have anything else.
That's it. That's all. Also, if you're in our Discord community, next week we have lots of holiday parties. But you have to join the Discord for that.
Join us.
But yeah, and next week, return of our long-running Fates of Rin campaign. I'm sure everything will
You guys are in a hallway filled with goos and oozes.
Oh shit! I forgot that's how we ended.
Right. That's the last thing that happened.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right.
Andy.
Moist. So
Gonna get sticky.
gonna turn this over to introductions, and then we will let the players read Chelsea's poem and also recap from last time. As mentioned, my name is Galway. I am the GM for this evening, and my pronouns are he, him, his. And I am going to pass it to Chris.
Oh, me. Hi. I am Chris. My pronouns are she, her. And I play Banban Quickfeet, whose pronouns are they, them. And Banban is about to chase down a magic apple. It's about to get magically real up in here. So I am going to pass it on down to the adorable little one underneath me because
I'm Andy. I play Ben. I go by he, him. I assume it was you were.
Yes, adorable
go
Andy.
me
It's you.
next.
Go ahead,
Okay.
adorable Andy.
I play Ben, who's also he, him. And yeah, you know, the druid of the group, so I'm pretty much the leader. And I'll pass it to the super adorable one.
Yes, well, I'll take over here. Hey, I'm Joel, your power little old me, and I'm playing Kentor, the satyr bard. So he, him, his. We're gonna pass it on to the most adorablest that way.
Super adorable, most adorablest. I was the little
Yes, most
adorable.
adorablest, which is also Lena. Wink, wink.
Hi.
Wink, wink.
I'm Lena. My pronouns are she, her. And I'm playing September Septima, the vampire wizard, whose pronouns are also she, her. And I'm gonna pass it to the I'm trying to fucking think of an alliterating thing, and I can't.
You got it.
The awesomest, adorablest, Heather, whatever direction that is.
Hi, I'm Heather. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm playing Vanity Shifting, whose pronouns are they, them, theirs, and is a tiefling bard. And I will give it to the awesomest, adorablest, and I forgot what you used already. It's something else with A that's awesome.
amazing.
Amazing, thank you. Can't brain tonight.
Acrobatic.
Astonishing and astounding.
Learning the alphabet with helpful goat, ladies and
Awful, but
gentlemen.
in the literal sense, not in the bad sense. Awe-inspiring. Thank you, Google.
All right. Those are some adjectives that begin with the letter A. Yeah, so would someone like to read Chelsea's poem, and then everybody can do a quick recap?
I can get that.
Get it.
Seriously, what's the deal with eerie magical floors and eyes that glow white? The mysteries grow stronger and stranger with every story narrative in and out of sight. Magical apple lures and giggles galore, strings to follow, and more glorious mayhem to explore. A mind-blowing tale with so much exciting, hypothetical, and actual disastrous delight to further pursue. Much love to your crew, I can see and hear you.
Thank you, Chelsea.
We're all here.
And yeah.
The magical apple.
What happened last time?
That's a great question.
What did
A
happen?
lot of
What didn't
stuff.
So we talked to the Archmentor, and it went swimmingly. And the Archmentor completely believes us, and is actually
they
going to do
didn't.
something about it. It's great. That's the end of the
Here's the
story.
thing. I think the Archmentor was starting to believe us
Yes.
until we pushed too hard and whatever thing is being controlled.
Hey! Excuse me, Andy. Fuck
We
you.
pushed the
As
exact
soon
right
as they
amount.
started to believe
It's out of
us.
character.
We're not pushing too hard.
Yeah, I mean, and in order to get somebody to believe us, once they start, then it's just like bam, that thing comes in and
Yeah.
They're
Don't blame
playing.
us.
Don't blame us.
So-
Yeah.
I had cast detect thoughts also, so I think there was maybe a little bit of bleeding. No, because I never went deeper.
Yeah.
But it seems like so we were getting the Archmentor to believe us, and it seems like then like I had detect thoughts on her while it was happening, and it seems like something is like rewriting it kind of as we watch when when people are in stasis or whatever. I don't know how to call it. Um, it's like rewriting their thoughts and like partitioning off the thoughts that it doesn't want them to know anymore.
You went
stories
rigid with
also
white eyes.
I did, yeah. And stories for Random and the Archmentor were like they worked with each other, so it seems like it was probably the same thing doing it. And then yeah, I went rigid also, and that was cool. And when I was rigid,
don't you now have like a friend?
I think maybe they're my friend. I don't think I know what their friend is. September probably doesn't understand the concept of friends. But
obviously,
we
wanted to be friends.
Yeah, so there were bad things. Everybody else, like I was just like holding like still like everybody else does with my eyes all white and shit. But I thought there were like these like where the fuck did I write this down on here? I was floating in a very dark void, and then I heard, "We see you, we will find you." And I felt my sense of self being pulled and towards something darker. And then there was a shimmer, and like a giggle, and this voice was excited and thought this was amusing and wanted me to go find them. And that seemed to fix it also. That seemed to protect me, maybe.
Or it was the thing doing it, maybe?
No.
What I'm thinking.
Are we sure? Because that's what
I'm
felt
almost positive.
Okay.
I'm
Wait,
almost
are you
positive.
Lena almost
Yeah.
positive, or are you September almost positive?
No, Lena.
Okay.
Lena is almost positive. The way Galway phrased it, it sounded like I was moving forward and then there was a shimmer and the movement stopped. So I was moving towards the bad thing.
Yeah.
The movement stopped and I heard that voice.
Okay.
And there was two different colors, right? There was the floor pulsing purple for the bad things. I should not do those potions anyways. And then there was also an orange glow, kind of like at the same time, like counteracting the purple.
Okay. So we learned our lesson and stopped talking to professors and the higher ups about this. No, we did not. Yeah, I think Cantor had a sort of a good idea that we all kind of latched onto.
Did we?
Well, I did, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
But also, I was curious about the professors that were actually leaving the school the night before, because something felt a little weird about that. And one of the professors that did leave the school the night before was the one in charge of the globes, and very much then that could have been an instance where someone got in there and kind of rewrote some of the programming of those things. Because those don't quite seem to be affected by magic in the same way that people's minds are. So that would have required probably someone to be there, maybe. So then we went to talk to another professor.
Smart of us.
Yeah, some of us. While at the same time, the rest of us that were kind of standing back, because we weren't exactly sure what was going on with September, started to be lured in a very specific direction.
Y'all were worried that I was like compromised.
Yeah, and luring in the direction seems to be the sort of basement room that we kept hearing about in this tower, which isn't great either. But Banbon was with us, and got lured away by a bouncing apple.
As one does.
Yeah. But the King's what's it, who's it? King's Head?
Kingston.
Lachlan.
Kingston.
Kingston that we were talking to seemed to kind of believe us, and then anyway, essentially what we got from this was we got one sort of word that if I needed to like say something to them so that they would 100% kind of believe me, they said that this word was, I had written it down, it was
I just had it.
what was it?
I just want to see what Andy
Vegepippy.
wrote down. And if it's actually the
Okay.
right
I'm
word.
curious.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah.
Nope, I did not write it down. So
The one thing we got was, oh dear. Vegapygmy.
Vegapygmy, that's it. Writing it down now.
And then while y'all were doing that, Cantor was desperately trying to keep Ban Bon and me from fucking going off on our own. Well, with Cantor. So really, like, we're the majority here. There's 3 of us and 2 of you, so
Yeah.
you 2 are on your own.
This is true.
But desperately trying to keep us from following the apple and the string that was coming out of me. But it's not like like a real string. Like, it's not like I could pull my organs out using it or something.
It had some sort of almost tangibility to it, though.
Yeah.
It
Because
does.
the mage
Mage
hand could latch onto it.
Yeah.
And I was able to eat one of the apples. So
Right.
Yeah.
And then
and that's all on Cantor, because Cantor said that he gave it to me.
Right.
Yes, I did. I also forgot about that.
Let's pick up with the group who is still sort of standing in Lachlan Kingston's office. And I believe
Okay.
the last thing you said literally was, "Where's Ban Bon?"
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I have a note that says some name that ends in ETHAN. Worked as a mercenary. Ask him how to weaken Astra before an attack. What is the name that I'm going for there? I can't read my own handwriting.
Oh,
It looks like we or
yeah, I'm trying to find.
it's for sure THAN at the very end.
A thon. What was it?
It's
Something
Ichthan
Gigathon.
Quard,
Ichthan.
Oh, okay.
who is the sorcerer mentor.
Icky Quad.
Ikiqua.
That's
Fine.
what it calls
Thank
him.
you.
Who's sorcerer mentor, and Arbus Quard, the caretaker of students. It's her father.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, you are in Lachlan's office. You were kind of wrapping up the conversation, and then you just said, "Where's Ban Bon?"
I apologize, Professor, but I think we do need to go find a friend.
Agreed. Agreed.
Right.
Of course. And also, you
Thank
should
you.
be getting to bed. There's a full day of classes tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Of course there is. We'll be open at him for that, I'm sure. Have a good night. Thank you for seeing us. Do appreciate it. Our project will go swimmingly now because of the information you're able to give.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Yes.
Out the door and down the hall looking
you-
for Van Bon.
You go left, I'll go right. I mean, do we see
Maybe
anyone
we should
in this
stick
hallway?
together.
You don't see anybody in the hallway.
Can I perhaps hear giggling or something in the distance, or someone
Yeah.
chomping an apple very loudly?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Perception.
Could I do too?
Being is
Sure,
good.
you can both
at
perception check.
Being is not as good as I thought at perception.
Benny got a
22 and a
10.
10. Bin, you're just having a really hard time because you're not really used to the way that sound bounces in like a hallway of, sculpted stone. You spend most of your time outside and not around lots of people. So even the sound bouncing in from the courtyard is a little unusual to you. Vanity, you're
everywhere.
pretty sure you hear like somewhat agitated speaking followed by apple at a distinctly higher register from left down the hallway, which would be the direction that you also came in. It would be towards the center of the the tower.
Okay. Ben, we need to go this way. Left. I think
Sounds are
they're
everywhere.
there.
Did you know they're
They're-
bouncing? Sounds
Yes, but they're
bounce.
louder from this direction. They're louder, and I heard the word apple, and apple
Okay.
sounded excited. So yeah, let's
Sure.
go.
Let's go. We'll hurry down the hallway.
All right. So as you've had that conversation, etc., let's cut back to the trio in the entrance hallway. Banbon, I believe you finished the apple that you got.
Yes. And the core started bouncing.
Yeah, the core hopped away.
And then
Yes.
the orange thread is still leading around that same corner.
Let me explain this in Banbon terms. Apple, 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 apple. Apple?
Exactly. Follow
Yes,
the
exactly,
apple.
which means do not go down that hallway, down to the basement, to who knows what.
But the apples, there's got to be more than one apple. I already said, look, the stocks are running low. There might be bunches of apples down there. We could bring them back and feed everybody so people don't starve while we try and figure out what's going on. And September has a
voice in my
string.
head-
The string.
Yeah,
I mean, if we hold on to the string, we can't get lost.
right. And
On
the
our way
voice
to
in my
find the
head
apples.
wanted us to find it. So
Yes, I'm fairly certain that you will not get lost if you follow the string. That's for certain.
good. So
Are you
no
not
no
concerned
objections.
Let's
that
go.
the string and the apple are going to the same place?
Which means it's more than a coincidence, right? I mean, if one thing was headed in one direction, that's kind of weird. But now that there's a string and apples, that to me says, Banbon, you should follow this apple. And September, you should follow this string. And everybody else, follow them.
Look, let's vote. The three of us who are here because the rest of the party isn't here. Who thinks we should follow the string? Okay, that's
Cantor
two of
just
us.
raise his arm, but then immediately afterward, well, you're certainly not going alone, and I will follow to make sure you don't die from thread apples.
I can protect myself.
And I'll just eat the apples.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the dog agrees.
I guess.
Dog.
Exactly.
You're heading around the corner?
It's
Yes.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Now
it
that
was
we're
sort of
calling it
going
like a
down
corner.
and around a corner. You begin following it. It's leading you just sort of down a hallway. The core is bouncing, and then like another entire apple sort of falls into line next to it and is bouncing along. And it's gonna go. It's headed to the back of the building, and then it's gonna turn right to keep going down the other wing. You all, sorry, not you all. Vanity and Bin, you arrive at the main doors. Cantor and September are not here, nor are they outside, given a quick look out the door. And you still haven't seen Banbon.
I'm gonna raise up my voice and Bambon!
That'll sort of echo down the hallways
It
towards.
bounces.
Uh,
See, it sounds like you're down there. That's wild.
and Banbon,
Stand
you
should
do
do
hear
that.
this.
Bambon! Where are you?
I do hear it.
Yeah, you do.
I think I hear Vanity.
Oh.
Please tell me it's not the
Where are
apples
you?
talking to you now.
No, I'm fairly certain. It's Vanity. Should Cantor, maybe you should go and tell her where we're headed.
If you agree to stay right here, while I get the other two.
I'll look
Nothing
over
could
at
possibly go
September.
wrong there, right? Agreed.
Do you promise that once you get the other two, we'll all go to follow the string and the apples?
I'll ask what the other two think, but I will.
No deal.
No deal.
Uh,
We can also just, not tell them. I mean, they seem to be okay. They're just looking for us.
Yes, because they think we're not okay. Which, I don't know about.
Are you okay? No.
I'm not going to yell into my mic, but Cantor yells, "Over here!"
Do we hear it?
Yeah,
Kind
you
of.
can hear that.
Okay.
I'll follow
I'm
you.
just imagining at least one or two other people walking down this hallway just going, "What?"
Yes.
Yeah.
I think some people
Are
trying
there
to
other
sleep.
people?
You haven't seen a lot, but like there have been some of the offices have still had lights on.
It's like late evening, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
it's
forgot
like
that timing, yeah.
8 or 9 o'clock at this point.
So
So,
this is both of us want to know how this works. How is this string coming out of September? Like when she walks, does it like is there slack and she has to like keep picking it up and like roll it around
No.
her arm, or does it just like retract up
It
into
always
her?
seems to originate from her and be roughly the
Oh.
same length.
Okay.
So like
Cool.
it doesn't seem like it's pulling her. She doesn't feel any sense of pulling. The string isn't like entirely taut. Like it has a little bit of give. It can it seems to flutter a little bit with wind, but it's not it neither extends behind her or produces slack or gets tighter if she moves away. It just seems to adjust.
Okay.
And yeah,
Cool.
after a few moments, Vanity and Bin, you will make it around the corner.
Sound is weird.
what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Bam Bam, why did you leave?
I was following an apple.
We were in the middle of something. You don't follow apples when you're in the midst of an investigation.
How do you know I wasn't trying to like it was a lead. It was evidence and it was I was investigating the apple.
And you all can see now in the hallway there's an apple core and an apple just sort of bouncing in place next to this orange string.
They also see the string coming out
Yeah.
of me.
Points at the apple.
September.
Exhibit A. Points at the string. Exhibit B.
September. What is that?
I'm not sure, and so I'm following it to find out. I'm really curious. It's very interesting, isn't it? I haven't seen anything like this before. It feels like it might be conjuration and illusion. My mage hand is able to grab onto it. It's fascinating. So we're gonna find what's causing it.
I'll reach out and try to.
Your hand goes through. You can feel a tiny bit of resistance, but again, it's almost like the feeling of putting your hand into like mist.
Okay.
So you know that where it's like, okay, the air does have a texture here, but it doesn't
like
actually
a strong
stop
blown
you.
stream.
Yeah.
or
So it's just sort of like, whoop, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
The string doesn't change in nature. It doesn't look like it's been interrupted or pushed or anything like that. Your hand goes through it, and then it comes back.
Is this connected to your voice in any way?
What do you mean?
Like, did your voice say anything about this?
Not that I wrote down.
Which is, I think, why I was asking. Because I didn't write anything down.
Had you heard giggling, though? This is Andy.
Was there giggling associated with the string? I had heard giggling other times, but have I heard
A little
giggling?
bit, yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that the giggling was getting more intense the closer that we stepped toward the basement, or at least as we followed the strand.
Yeah, just like there's been some like cheerful laughter.
So I have an idea. Let's go to the library and maybe check out a book on this.
I mean, that is a good idea.
As you say that,
you're
Bin,
right.
But September. Apples?
There's books on apples too.
But why read a book about an apple when you can follow an apple? Look, they're waving to us. Hi,
And
apples.
indeed,
And Banbon's going to take a step towards the apples.
as Banbon says, look, they're waving to us, Bin, you kind of look over. One of the apples, the whole apple, is bouncing on a leaf. That you haven't seen in a very long time. It's a leaf from a plant that you haven't seen probably since you were a child.
Well, it is a bit interesting, don't you think?
Right? Yeah.
Let's follow the apples.
I mean, we could also go read books about this first if you want.
We could do that after. We're already here. We would have to leave here to go to the library, but everything's already right here. So let's go here first, and then we can go to the library.
This is a
Yes.
bad
And who
idea.
knows? Maybe the library down at the
Going to the
basement, wherever
library
this
is a bad idea, Ben? Or
No, just this whole thing.
We could go
Let's-
to bed.
Well,
Let's do it.
we're going to have to figure this out one way or another.
It's a bad
I'm
idea, but let's
thinking-
do it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that
I agree.
probably the most direct way is to follow the string and these apple core. Did you eat that apple?
Yes, Cantor gave that one to me.
Was it bouncing before you ate it? That's
No,
interesting. Okay.
it did bounce into my hand, but Cantor said that he gave it to me. So I ate it.
Okay.
Fair.
There might have been more than one apple, but sure.
Let's
Well,
all just
I think we
proceed
should.
cautiously. Obviously, something wants us to come down here. Let's be careful.
Very well, we can go. I will go with you, and I reserve the right to be indignant.
Fair.
Soon as Cantor says, "All right," Banbon
no.
has taken 3 steps.
Okay. The apples will bounce away, sort of keeping pace in front of you. September, do you start walking down the hallway as well? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
No change with the string as before. Ben, as you're moving down the hallway, you can see a slight, like a bough of a tree just waving slightly in the air, you think?
It's getting a bit more foresty in here than I would have thought. I'm gonna take out my shield and my sword, just in case.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that tree with my mage hand.
You can sort of rattle it. A leaf will drop down from it.
Ah,
It's the same leaf as before.
I'll try to catch the leaf as best I can.
Yeah, it just kind of sits on your palm.
Okay. Where I come from, it's said to be good luck if you can catch a leaf before it hits the ground. Because you're the only living person in the world who's ever touched this leaf. It's special.
People can climb trees and stuff.
It's a story, or I don't. The probability of someone in the here touching this leaf is it's lucky. That's all I'm saying.
Good. We probably
Jesus.
need the luck.
May. If we could wait literally 1 minute, I have it's an ability. It's not a spell, but it could potentially give us some information about whether what we're doing is wise or very dangerous, or perhaps both. Can we wait 1 minute while I do this?
I don't
Although
know
I-
if the answer will dissuade anyone, but sure.
I
I think it would
agree,
be
but
good.
it's-
Although I feel that Banbon may explode if we wait 1 minute, I, for one, am fine with this idea.
Perhaps Banbon could have another apple.
Yes, I think an apple
Okay.
would prevent them from exploding.
As you say that, an apple will just sort of materialize out of the air above Banbon and drop into Banbon's hand.
Thank you,
Okay.
mysterious air apples.
So I'm going to use my hearing of the storyteller, which is I can focus for 1 minute, just like I'm concentrating on a spell. And at the end of that minute, it's as if I cast the divination spell.
This is the first time
At
anyone's
fourth
used
level.
one of their abilities outside of Seppi. Is just sort of always there.
Okay, and I'm going to have to look up divination real quick.
You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be short prose, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. It does not take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. And then there's stuff about probability that doesn't apply.
Okay. So I would like to focus for a minute. And oh gosh. So first, before I started focusing, I would say I get to ask a single question, and I will potentially receive an answer. I will receive an answer, though it might be cryptic. What do we all think the best question is for me to?
What is the meaning of life?
Are there more apples?
42. What about is the is whatever seems to be luring us?
Does it have malicious intent?
Yes.
That's what I
Towards
want to know.
us. Malicious intent towards
Towards
us.
us.
We all have malicious intent.
It's a bit of a monkey paw situation, isn't it?
Yes. So is it luring us with malicious intent toward us? Or is it drawing us there with malicious intent toward us? Good. All right.
You sit and you concentrate, and as you focus, the sounds of the hallway, the few people, the sounds bouncing from the courtyard outside, Banbon's foot rapidly tapping against the floor as try to go further down the hallway, fade, and they're replaced by the sounds of your hometown market square that almost seem to come up just a little bit. And this is pretty normal. Like, you've done this in, when it's been quiet, and you'll also sort of hear this. And your question is, are we being essentially beckoned or lured with malicious intent?
Yeah, towards us.
Towards you, yeah. Yeah, without going so far as to limit to, like, is it an ambush? Functionally, you're asking, is this an ambush or something? Yeah, okay. The sound of the marketplace will also die out just a little bit. And you hear, it's always faint, or it's almost always faint when the voice speaks to you. Through halls of darkness, you are led. Damn, can't compose a rhyme this quickly. All right, skipping out of rhyme, going to prose for this one. Though this path is dangerous, it does not bear you ill will. There, cryptic prose.
All right. So I will repeat that to the group. And I think that we should be ready for the dangers, but it's perhaps not specifically directed toward us.
Fair. I suppose that's better than the alternative.
It's. I mean, I will tell them the exact wording.
Yeah.
It does not bear us ill will.
Fantastic. I need another apple. Let's go.
Yeah.
It hooks back around, and now you're sort of towards the back wall of the tower building. And now it's hooking back again the other way, so it sort of has turned back in towards the center, but now on a separate hallway than you were on before. And after a few covering, I would say, half the distance So you'd guess you're somewhere near the middle of the tower again. It's the string is going to turn, but it goes into a wall. And the apple is sort of sitting there and like, boink, disappear, boink,
Oh, lovely.
reappear, boink.
We've reached a wall. Have to turn around.
I'll put my hand
a
out.
real shame, if you ask me.
You put your hand
so
out.
Close.
Yeah, based on the. So before it was almost like when you put your hand into mist, when you touch like the string or anything. This feels like you've put your hand into like an airstream. There is more resistance. Your hand is needing to sort of. You're not going to casually put your hand through this.
But I can push my hand into it.
Yes.
I will push my hand into it.
Yep.
And
your arm is just sort of disappearing into the wall.
And I can feel my hand.
Yeah, nothing bad is happening. It is a little colder.
Okay.
I'm just like, where did Heather go? It is a little colder on your hand than it is like on your shoulder and the rest of you that's in the hallway, but it's not like painfully cold or anything.
Okay.
Well, can we go through?
Yeah, I do believe we can. My arm has come to no harm. And I'll step through.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow, but first I want to like look at it and like try to figure out how it's happening.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check, which in your case is just check for that.
15.
It is difficult for you to tell exactly what's happening, but you can rule a couple of things out. This wall is not an illusion. This is not like, you know, if you cast minor illusion and then put your hand through it, or even some of the more powerful spells. It's not from that from any of the descriptions you've heard. This is a thing. It's just physically more permeable than it is visually, if that makes sense. It looks completely like a solid wall, but physically it definitely has resistance to it, just not enough to actually stop you.
Can I like tear off a chunk of it with my mage hand and bring it with me?
Your mage hand bounces on it like it's a wall.
Can I tear off a chunk of it with my real hand and bring it with me?
You try, but you can't quite get any purchase on it at any point. Incidentally, Cantor, have you already gone through, or are you hanging back until September goes through?
Gone through.
Okay.
Like stopping like halfway, feeling you can like see on his face he's like, this feels weird, and then proceeds all the way through.
You do notice, September, where Cantor was sort of bouncing back and forth. There's a very, not like a hole, but it's almost like a dent in the wall has been left. Like the surface of it seems to bend in a little bit, and if you put your hand towards it, you can feel that pressure is less there.
Like some of the wall like went with him?
Yeah, that would probably be your best guess.
Great, perfect. So I can go through it and also collect some of it as a sample. I'm gonna go through.
Okay. You all are in a hallway.
Do I have some wall on me that I can, keep?
You do not. You didn't observe that also from anyone else going through.
Just for Cantor.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Hey, Cantor. You're weird.
Yes.
You're weird.
Well, thank you. I do try. Is it
When
the
you
hair?
went-
I did something new with the hair this morning. I was hoping someone would notice. Thank you.
No, maybe it's like your I don't know, your whole being is weird.
Oh,
When you went
well, I
through
mean,
the
I have been doing a little bit of meditation, but not like, I
Cantor.
mean, not a super
Cantor.
spiritual person.
Cantor, do you have any wall bits on you? When you went through the wall, some of the wall, it's not really a proper wall, but it's kind of a proper wall, went with you or something. It didn't happen with the rest of us. Does Cantor have wall bits
No?
on him?
So Kidder kind of like turns around, look toward his back.
Or in you?
I'm assuming there's no bits of wall.
Search inside him.
Don't encourage September. You don't see anything stuck to yourself, but as you sort of look over your back, and you look down into your pack, your flute is now a sort of stone gray color.
What's the matter, Cantor? You're making weird noises. Maybe you are weird.
Yeah. Do you have
I'm
another
glad
apple?
you figured this out now. What is that about apple?
Did you have another apple? Is that what you're looking
Yes, my bag is filled with apple.
at? See, I knew you needed apples. Let's go.
Is Banbon just heading down the proceeding?
So we're just like in a hallway.
You're in a hallway, and then after about a 10-foot stretch, it turns into a staircase going down.
Oh, okay.
Does the architecture and everything look the same as the other hallway we came from?
It looks generally the same as the building. It is not decorated in the same way. It's not particularly decorated at all. And it's just sort of more raw stonework.
Okay.
It is also very dark in here.
Cantor, answer me. I'm just hearing weird noises from you. What's happening?
Oh, nothing. Just piece of wall. What is it with the wall, you say? Like, what happened with the wall? Is it
Like-
stuck to me?
Maybe. I mean, it like dented in, but not like a dent. Like some of it was gone, right? You know, like if you scoop out some ice cream, kind of like that, except you'd moved through it. So I guess it's not really scooping. I'm not great at metaphors. But it didn't do that with anybody else. So like some of it was missing after you went through.
Interesting.
It's fine if you
mean-
don't want to tell us.
No, it's fine.
It's not fine.
Cantor takes out what looks like a simple penny whistle that as Galway has said has turned gray. This is just something I have brought along a long time with my travels. And I've never seen it gray per se.
Is there something
color?
special about it? Have you seen it other colors besides whatever color it was before gray? What is it? Is
I
it
mean-
magical? I'm gonna do an Arcana check with my eyes and see if it's magical.
With my eyes.
Give me an Arcana check.
14.
It's a flute. It might be magical. It's kind of hard for you to tell.
Can I look at it with my hands?
I suppose.
I won't take it
You
apart.
know what that's called, though, right?
That's what?
Looking with your hands. You know what that's called?
Looking with my hands, obviously.
Yes. Yes. Sort of hands over the wooden whistle.
So it's wooden normally.
Yes.
And it still is.
Still is, yeah.
It still feels wood. It's
Yep.
just the color of the wall.
Yeah.
Does it look magical or anything? Does it also look like I can like gently scrape the wall off of it to collect a sample?
That's difficult.
Stop whittling the Benny whistle.
That is difficult to tell. You don't feel anything like the texture of the wall that you just went through on this. It just feels like wood.
Sorry, Kenter. Before September just started doing things, she also asked, "Was it magical in the past?" Might be a good thing to answer.
Yes. It was made from a sort of, you could say like a magical tree in a sense. It wasn't always magical, but now is.
What sort of magic?
Not a clue.
Oh,
A sort
fair,
of mana
okay.
magic.
Mana
You know.
magic. That's interesting.
Banbon,
So-
the apple that's bouncing up and down on a fixed stair is glowing slightly, so that you can see it. And you can see a
Hey,
couple
guys,
of
there's
others
stairs.
bouncing along.
There's stairs. I'm headed down the
Just
stairs.
wait. The apple's not gonna go anywhere. It will wait for you if you wait for the rest of us to look at this flute and try to collect samples from it.
So because the wall didn't allow the mage hand to sort of pass through it, I'm guessing it's kind of an anti-magic sort of thing.
Oh, is
Um,
this still magic then?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps I can't do magic anymore. Perhaps this was the thing I was looking for the whole time. And I try to cast some druidcraft to make a flower grow
no.
out of the penny whistle.
Entangle!
Please tell me
No.
your spell slots, please.
I'm over by the stairs.
Why is everyone? Why are you all running away?
A small flower will grow out of the penny whistle.
What Ben said is gonna make me concerned, so I'm gonna look at my spellbook and make sure it's okay.
Seems fine.
So is this still magic, Cantor? It doesn't I'm not familiar with this type of magic. Does it still feel magic
I
to
don't-
you?
Really, no. I could see if it sounds the same.
Give it a
Or,
toot.
what was that?
Give it a toot.
I mean, I can
A toot.
try.
A toot.
Dude.
Yes.
Give it a toot.
Yes. Fine.
Does
I
it
love it.
sound the
Does it sound the same?
It does. Nothing feels different, including like tangibly. It doesn't feel different in your hands. The only thing you might say is it feels almost maybe a little warm.
Hmm.
I don't know much about penny whistles, but I think that thing's fucking broken. It shouldn't sound that way.
But please, where I come from, this is what the whistles do sound like. You have to
Fair.
understand that.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it back from Cantor and try to scrape some of the wall off of it. And then I'll give it back and we can continue on our journey.
I'm following Ben Bon.
You
Banbon is already down a couple stairs.
shave off a bit of wood.
Does it still seem gray?
Yep,
Underneath where I shaved the wood off, is it wood colored or still gray?
still gray.
Huh.
Can
I
you
think it's
please
This
not
way all the way
damage
through.
my cherished penny whistle?
I said I wouldn't take it apart. I didn't say I wouldn't damage it. But you can have it back for
That's-
now.
That's what damaging means.
No, damaging is
taking
more
apart-
broad. Taking apart is very specific.
You took apart a sliver of wood from it. Whatever. Fuck it. Let's go.
I'm focusing on this whistle. What is going on with this hallway?
I'm following
I don't
Ben
know all
Bon
of this.
down the stairs.
While it's quite dark, the orange thread and the apples are glowing slightly, enough to give off enough light for you to see your way down the stairs safely.
Surely one of you magic users can make a bit of light.
You're a magic user too, Ben. And
You
yes, I
magic
can.
users.
Apparently,
I have.
I'll cast light.
Uh,
I have dark vision, so I don't need this. But I'm willing to help you.
it's a weird spell for you to learn if you don't need it, but that's cool.
Yeah, I don't really remember why I took this. I'm sure
glad
there
you
was
did.
a reason for it.
Now I can see.
To shine in
Yeah.
someone's eyes for interrogation purposes. Right?
You
Oddly specific.
you go down what you would guess is a couple of flights, and then the staircase switchbacks. So heading back the other way, and you keep going. Okay.
Nice.
You go, and going down, you would guess like another couple flights. It ends at a large door. It's not particularly ornate or anything. It's just sort of a heavy wooden door set into a roughly hewn door frame. Like this isn't made with newly cut stone. At this point, you're just sort of looking at raw carved stone. But yeah, that's what you got.
What are the apples doing?
Bouncing through the door.
Bouncing through the door?
Can I knock on the door? Is it solid?
Yeah.
Is there a handle? Can we try to open it?
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a simple little like latch handle to open it. It doesn't look like it has a lock or anything.
Yeah, let's try to open
Is it trapped? That would hold. Okay. Hey, vanity, I guess.
You,
That's another way to check for traps. Let's do
I
it.
mean, that was a verbal, but you know,
You
since I
open-
assumed.
You open the door.
Okay.
Nothing seems to happen.
Fair.
Inside, you can see a large room. Not that large. Let's say 20 feet to the other wall. It's about 10 feet wide to your right, to the right of the door. There's nothing really in there. To the left, you can see a long row of bars, glowing with slightly red glyphs on them.
And what are the apples and the string doing?
The apples are sort of sitting just in front of the bars, and the string proceeds in through the bars.
Bars like a jail bars?
Do you know a lot of other kinds of bars?
Yeah, you can get a good stiff drink at a few.
Can I read these glyphs? Do I know? Like, can I tell what they are?
What languages do you speak?
Yeah.
Okay, look. I speak Common, Infernal, Draconic.
No, you're not really recognizing anything there.
Good.
Can,
Andy hears the list of languages and he's like, hey, maybe we don't
Can I
want...
read you? Can I read you my list of languages? And tell
Sure,
me?
I know it's real long.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, Giant.
It is related to giant.
Oh.
can I cast Comprehend Languages and read it?
I don't think that works on glyph.
If it's
mean,
a
it's-
language.
It's a written language, right?
Hang on, I've got it here because I've got that. For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see. You must be touching the
Oh,
surface.
no, yeah.
It doesn't decode secret messages in a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil that isn't part of a written language. Itty.
You could certainly try.
Josh,
All right.
Josh, wave at me.
Andy says wave at him. You.
Yeah.
Everybody way back. Hi.
All right.
Oh, that's such a sweet looking kitty.
I just did Comprehend Languages.
Cool.
Let's see if we can.
And
Read
for
sigils or
reading, you
anything.
need to touch the surface.
I will touch it.
Do it.
So as you step in, you touch the bars. You hear? It is nice to have visitors. And as you are all looking, you can now see in the darkness of the cell, which, by the way, dark vision and the light spell aren't really doing anything to. You will see a pair of glowing purple eyes and a glistening smile. Yes, they are well made. More's the pity.
Is this the voice that I had
Yes.
heard when I was away?
Yes.
But this is the second voice I heard.
This is the second
not...
voice.
Okay.
This is the second voice and the giggle you've been hearing.
And Banbon didn't like get teleported into the cell or anything?
No,
The cell is
no.
still
Banbon's just sitting
belly?
there touching that. It says, I believe, 1 minute to read 1 page of text. As this is happening, assuming you haven't pulled your hand away, it is text that you can now read. It is not sentences. It is single words.
Single words, okay.
Like hold, ice, various other just words, and it definitely does not make a sentence in any way that you can tell.
Okay. And I can hear the creature on the
Everyone
other side
can.
talking?
Yeah, everyone
okay.
can.
And it has an advance towards me as I'm touching the bars?
No. Just an FYI, but that's the voice I heard when I went away for a sec. The second voice, the voice that maybe stopped the other voice.
It's so nice to be heard and remembered. It's been quite a while.
Are you in charge of the apples?
Oh, yes. And the apples that are sitting in front will bounce towards you.
How many more do you have?
How are you doing that? How are you making them corporeal, but they're not real? They're conjuration and illusion, and what is this? How are you doing it?
Who are you?
You seem to focus on the how, but isn't it more important as the results?
No,
it's very
absolutely
amusing.
not.
Behind these bars.
Tell me exactly how this works.
We can get into talking.
We'll let you out if you tell me.
Magic.
Wait,
Hold the fuck on.
Oh, will you now?
Let's hold up. Let's
Wait,
just.
do you have more apples in there?
Tell me.
September, we're here for the apples. The apples.
We're here for
right.
knowledge.
You all are most amusing. Yes, most amusing. I am so glad that I reached out when I did.
It seems like we got the message that you've been reaching out to us and leading us here. Here we are, perhaps against our better judgment. But who?
What is better judgment?
Who are you? Why are you in a jail beneath the school?
How are you? But not like how are you as a person? I don't care.
Not the
But like how are you
what,
doing these things?
not the when, the who.
You all have so many questions. I'd forgotten. It's
Just
been
the one.
so long. So very long. Yes, dear, I do have a few more. And a couple more apples are going to sort of apparate and bounce towards you. As for the how, I can answer that in a bit, perhaps. But as for the who, yes, I forgot it. I invited you to my home, such as it is. Only polite to introduce myself first. I am Exhilaration of the Legion, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You understand
ring
that
a
sounds
bell?
like a horrible name.
It's about Lena.
That sounds
Wait. Did Bin say that out loud?
Yes, that sounds like a horrible name. That sounds like a dangerous name.
That's hurtful.
My name's Bin. It means trash can. So
Wait,
And you're throwing stones at me for having a name like Exhilaration?
Exhilaration.
Does that sound familiar at all?
No.
Okay.
Can we see him? Just his eyes.
All you can see are the eyes and the sort of glittering smile, which does move, like when he speaks or laughs.
Like
But
sharp
now,
teeth or just teeth or
sharp teeth. But as you're looking and your closest Banbon, though they're not next to the bar where you are, you can see sort of shadowy hands on the ceiling and the floor. A lot more than 2 of them.
Thank you for the apples, and I'll
Oh,
bend
you're
down
most
and I'll
welcome.
scoop them up. What?
Why are you here?
Yeah, something tells me you didn't give us these apples for nothing.
Well, the apples per se are mostly for nothing, actually. I mostly wanted visitors, shall we say. As for why I am here, a great deal of time ago, a very annoying member of the Convocation Arcanum managed to trap me. And, yeah, I'm not sure if you've caught on to this, but there's not a lot to do in here.
What were you doing
Why
in
did
my
they trap you?
Yes, who trapped you? Why trapped you? And what do you look like? As Bambon's kind of like trying to bob and weave to look through the bars.
Just a second. So, Banbon, you're asking what you look like and why trapped. September was also asking that.
And who? I
And
think
Vanity was also
who.
asking who trapped you, or why did they trap you?
September was asking why they were in her head and how.
Give me just a second.
We're just
meta
like
stuff.
blasting him with questions.
Yeah. So meta stuff. Convocation Arcanum, is that the thing that then turned kind of into the Unity eventually?
Yeah, I think so. It's
So-
the people who used to own this land or whatever
Yeah.
were on it anyways.
People
The
that kind of
school was
scare
built on.
us.
Does the school know about this guy? I don't know. Probably, right?
I've just managed to forget something, and it's not in my notes. So, because it doesn't depend on that, I will answer September's question first, while I continue looking.
I think the school. Wait, I think the school might know about this. I was checking my notes. Rindam was thinking about maybe. Rindam, sorry, not Rindam. The Archmentor was thinking about
About the
bringing the
basement.
professors to a specific location underground when she
Yeah.
was taking us seriously.
Mm.
Cool. And I'm also not a fan of the Unity, so fuck them.
Unity wants to conscript her. Yes.
Okay, golly, sorry.
You see, you meddled with some unfortunately unpleasant others with powers similar to mine, and their attempts to what's the word? Obliterate. To obliterate you. Opened a little gap for me to step in.
Wait,
So
obliterate?
you
And that was an answer to
I think that's the right
Me.
word.
which was what was your
Destroy
question?
utterly. Absorb.
Question was
Make
why
go
and
away.
how they were in my head.
I see. Cool.
are they trying to obliterate the school and everyone in it?
Or just us.
They certainly wouldn't mind. It's all part of their longer obsessions, shall we say.
And who are they?
Oh, I'm
Who is
not
them?
precisely sure. I suspect it's one of my former co-workers.
Who they
And who
anyway?
would that be?
One of the other members of the Legion, but as I said, I don't really know which one it could be. As the name might suggest, there are quite a few of us.
So you don't work. You're not the Legion anymore. You said former coworkers.
Yes. You see, they're very concerned with singular things. It's all they do, really. Work towards it, work towards that, work towards the other. But it just seemed to me that it would be better to have a more amusing life.
Why do you think we, the five of us, are unaffected by what it is your coworker is trying to do?
Oh, I have no idea. That's another part of why this is so interesting.
Ooh.
Listen,
Are
listen,
you
listen.
affected?
No, I'm always like this.
Why aren't you affected?
If I had to put it simply, I'm the wrong type to be affected. This effect is targeted to you all, not to me.
When you say you all, do you mean like us? And Bad Bun's pointing towards the five of us, or like us?
Like humans.
I don't
and
really remember all the times that I've
things
used it in this conversation, but in that sentence it meant all of you mortals.
Is this happening more than just in this school? Could this be happening everywhere?
I've tried to be really specific with you. I don't know. In a cage.
That wasn't just to you. All right, it was to my friends as
Oh,
well.
sorry.
There are other
Carry
Tell
on.
us about,
exhilaration.
yeah,
Back
tell us
to the
about things
cage.
you do now.
Yeah, who put you in the cage and what do you look like?
And how are you doing all the magic you're doing?
I am very frustrated with my notes at the moment.
No.
And why are you in the cage? We'll just keep
And
throwing
if I
questions
pay
out there.
you or give you some sort of other bargain or deal, will you teach me how to do the magic you're doing?
Give him your soul. See if we'll go for that.
Yeah, you can have my soul. Totally.
What the hell would I do with that?
joking. September.
September half one?
I mean, I'm dead.
Jesus.
All right, so
no.
why was I'm sorry, there have been a lot of questions. I've sort of started to lose track of them, and also you all seem to insult each other a lot of the time.
Well, have you met us?
Yeah.
Yes, just now.
All in good
You seem to
fun,
know us
all in-
pretty well.
Well, I mean, you are walking around not brain-controlled like the rest of them.
Brain
And
controlled.
yes. Listen,
How is it that you know that we're not brain controlled, as well as? I mean, this is a very terrible cage, I'd say. You're not exactly contained.
something unanticipated happened, and you, I believe your name was September. That was what they yelled at you.
Who yelled at me?
The short one, with the shield,
Trash can.
Ben.
trash can, bin, whatever.
Ben.
Yes, actually, I would be more than happy to teach you more of how I have accomplished these things, and as a bonus, I'm willing to throw in a hint to let you all free yourselves. All I require in exchange is to be freed myself. After this is done,
That
of course.
sounds great. Yeah, I'm down.
Free ourselves from. We're not being controlled.
Good.
Would
I don't
you
think-
be able to help me have better mind connections with others?
Why are we
Perhaps.
asking this thing for power?
We don't even know what he looks like.
I don't want power, I want knowledge.
Knowledge
They're
is
usually much the
power.
same thing. Yep, see? As for what I look like, nothing pleasant right now. I'm a little confined.
In my old village, there's a guy called Gastric Intropod, Joseph. We just called him G.I. Joe for short, and he'd always say, knowledge is power.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for that wonderful
Does
anecdote.
that help? Am I helping?
So,
So how do we stop the brain control then?
indeed. But see, it wouldn't be nearly as amusing if I simply told you, nor do I fully know. However, what was done had unintended consequences. That's why Trash Can over there seems confused as to how I know some things but not others. You see, the cage worked much more thoroughly prior to, I don't know, you experienced this as yesterday? When things started with the weird?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so prior to yesterday, the cage was much more restrictive, but they didn't quite calibrate everything correctly, although to be fair, they probably also didn't know I was here. And that is amusing. And I'd like to keep it that way. So, what I can offer you is the knowledge that one was taken away so that one could be installed. And some other various hints I might be able to offer you along the way.
Great. Hint number 2.
Oh, no, trash can. No. No, it's important that you go and you play it out. You strive and struggle as
And
your
we have-
mortals do.
Yeah. Struggle. Great. We just need, as an offering of goodwill, I need you to teach me something to show that you actually can, because I don't believe you can teach things right now. You haven't done anything but laugh and say riddles. So show me that you can teach me some of this magic, and then we will go do your little fetch quest.
Did you just say bitch quest?
Fetch quest.
Fetch quest.
Oh,
Saving the
my
school is a
God.
fetch quest.
It's going to sort of reach up one of these long hands, the fingers on which are much too long for the size of the palm. And it's going to sort of not reach out to you, but it's just going to sort of float in the air near you and go, so I will teach you some of what I know and give you hints for breaking your cage, and in exchange you will help me break mine.
Deal.
Outstanding. And you're going to see a orange pulse for just a second. And then the hand will come back down. I apologize, but when you get back to this morning, you should have far more insight. And if you don't, it's not like I'm going anywhere.
Insight all of us, or insight September in specific?
September specifically at the moment.
Okay, so if I do, then we have a deal.
Very good, very good. Like I said, struggle, strive, scurry, as mortals do. See if you can figure it out, and perhaps along the way spare a thought to, getting rid of these bars for me.
Do you have any idea how to do that? Get rid of the bars?
Sledgehammer might work.
Can I look at them closely with my eyes and my fingers, look at them with my hands? I want to see what type of magic they are and how they work.
Sure. Give me an Arcana check as you look with your eyes and your hands.
Hey, nat 20.
Ayo.
September touches it and they crumble.
Just like that. Well, that was easy. Oh shit, we released him.
And then it eats
You
us.
have never seen the type of magic that this is. It has elements of abjuration, evocation, conjuration, and enchantment. And the main thing that you notice with the 25 crit is that it's not the bars, it's the glyphs. And while that might be obvious that glyphs are often, how you inscribe this kind of spell that you need to last longer, they're also powering it. The glyphs seem to be a form of pure mana.
Ooh. Kenter said something about his penny whistle being sort of mana magic as well. I wonder if that's what we've walked into.
I mean, I suppose. We don't really have any way to dispel it at the moment. We can look, exhilaration, for a way to open these bars. But at the moment, don't know if we have something like that.
I might
No.
have something.
Totally fine, totally fine.
Let me double check.
Look for a way to open the bars and replicate the bars. You have to make something stop working. You have to understand how it works.
I might be able to at least
I
figure
don't
out
think that's actually the way that normally goes.
Well, I
little
take
bit
things
more.
apart, they stop working, and I understand how they work. So,
Always?
to which,
Do you always understand how they work after you take them apart?
so far, eventually.
I'm going to cast detect magic on the bars. Shit. Entangled. I entangled the bars.
Did it work? Did it help?
Did anything happen?
Give me strength saving throws.
God, all of us.
Yeah.
We're all
All of
close,
us?
I guess.
Andy,
Yeah.
it's one of my
We're all pretty
favorite
close.
bits that you've ever done.
I know. It's
Cantor just
hilarious.
sees Ben starting to cast, goes, "Oh no," and jumps out of the way.
I don't have
16.
band bonds.
I got a
Um,
10.
There we go. 10. Okay. Banbon and Vanity, you just sort of both get grabbed by these vines. Cantor, you like spring to the wall and just sort of like hold there just long enough and then drop back down. September, you just sort of like slap at them to like make them not get there. And I guess Seppi technically should make a save.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Sorry about that
I
again.
am grumbling at Ben.
Oh, good lord,
I
you're quite
didn't
amusing.
mean to. That was funny. Great. Did any of the growth go into the cell at all?
Yeah.
It did. Interesting. Interesting.
Hey, somebody tried sticking your hand through the bars.
Oh, trust me, I've tried.
I'll stick my hand
Yeah,
through the bars.
You have many hands to stick through the bars. Yes.
You stick your hand through the bar.
Yes.
Yep.
You try.
How widely are the bars spaced?
I
mean, I was
through?
touching them. Wouldn't that I've like have gone between the bars anyways to touch them?
A little bit, but you didn't like
Kinda.
try to reach into the cell itself particularly. You were just trying to keep contact on the bars. Yeah, your arm goes through. The bars are spaced, sort of like prison bars that far. So
no chance of squeezing through.
not really a
Like
chance of
6 or 7
squeezing
inches.
through. But you can easily get an arm through them.
I'll cast Detect Magic and probably not Entangle.
Yeah. Is there anything you need that we could
So he
provide?
can't reach
for
his
you?
arm through?
No.
I am going to turn into a salamander that can squeeze through this, certainly.
I like how this went from no, we're not doing this to Ben is just going hard on this plan now.
Before we because obviously my friends are going to be getting power from this or something. Like, I want to make
Knowledge.
sure that we can trust him first.
Detecting magic, which, because I'll say that
Sure.
that happens at the same time as you're transforming, so then you're going through the bars. The bars, the glyphs on the bars are incredibly magical. Again, same sort of schools that I mentioned, but they're all sort of mixed together. It does look like individual words produce individual school effects. So the mix comes from the way that they're sort of all together. You turn into a salamander and you scooch through. He's gonna look at
Inside the
hello,
cell.
trash can.
He's gonna eat you.
I, as a salamander, tried to then move back out through the cells.
Yeah.
Just realized. Okay.
I was gonna say,
I can
as
move.
you're
Okay,
suddenly
okay.
like, oh dear.
Oh, God, I'm
Well, there's the
inside.
end of bin for this round.
Yep. You've got company forever now.
Ben is Legion.
Yeah.
Can Ben see what he looks like?
No, the
Doubt.
darkness is just still deep.
But I had salamander vision.
That's good.
I don't know what that does. Okay.
It's like
so
double dark vision.
it's like
Yes.
super dark vision.
Yeah.
So
It's like infrared.
I scoot back out, pop into bin. This is interesting. This is I believe, a cell made very specifically for this individual, and
Fascinating.
not anyone in
Probably.
general.
Rillab always
Great.
was thorough.
And why
What
were
was
you
that?
put in
What
here?
did you say?
Rillab, you. Also, I think we were looping back. The person who trapped me here, Chassin Rillab.
Yes.
Quite annoying.
But are they still alive? You said that was a very long time ago.
Oh, probably. I
Probably.
think they're probably
great.
too ornery to die.
Oh, that's
Why?
Does that
did
even
they
mean anything
put
to
you in
any of
here?
us?
too ornery to die.
Vanity.
Mhm.
Give me a history check.
Okay. So I also have Jack of all trades. So I can add half my proficiency bonus rounded down. Proficiency bonus is 1. So okay. So well, I rolled a 4.
No, you're not really sure.
Yeah. Dang.
Vanity had also asked why they put
Yes.
acceleration in here.
Oh yes, and to the why, because Philip doesn't exactly get along with my former co-workers and didn't seem capable of understanding that's not what I'm doing anymore. So, sell time.
Fair. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for free in this thing. I just want us to
Appreciate.
be careful. Right on. I just want us to be careful accepting things from just a being that we can't quite decipher.
Why?
But we were perfectly fine with accepting the apples and the trees and the threads.
I mean, I
Was
didn't
that
really
the
accept
apples,
Tarzan
the thread.
tree?
Incidentally, by the way, if you would like, a small like apple crate is going to appear next to you, Banbon.
Yes.
Trash can.
Oh.
Why do we have to be careful?
My name's Bin, but
You did that to yourself.
I did. We have to be careful because we don't know exactly what it is or where the source of this is. September, believe me,
Right.
magic is not always a good thing. Sometimes power can be dangerous to those around you.
I don't care about power. I just want all the knowledge. And your reasoning why we have to be careful is why we should figure out what's going on.
Agreed,
So
we
that we
should.
do know what's happening and so that we can replicate it and do this to somebody else.
Maybe we
if
just
need
don't
to.
accept orange gifts from him, right? Before we know things that are happening.
But
Wouldn't
if
that
the
be
gifts are knowledge, who has knowledge ever hurt?
Why
Andy's
a
screaming inside.
few. Now, if you really want to ask that question, knowledge is behind all the weapons, all the spells, anything that's been used pretty much for people to deliberately hurt other people.
Right, it's behind
So-
the spells, which is why we need it.
Vanity, you're going to sort of see the eyes like, oh, you are intriguing.
Exhilaration, what do you dream about?
It's an odd question.
Do you mean in an aspirational sense or in the thing that happens when you're asleep sense?
Do you want to be an actor when you grow
Mostly
up? Or...
aspirational. Yeah, do you want to
Mostly right now, I would just like to be out of here.
Fair.
Great,
Well, maybe you brainstorm on how we might do that. We'll think about it too. Don't worry. And if after years and years and years in a cell, you don't want to speed things up by just kind of telling us stuff,
Giving us all your knowledge.
yeah. Well,
In the form of riddles.
Working
Give
on it.
test out the riddles.
So remember, one was removed, so one could be installed. That will help you with the predicament that your entire school finds itself in. You will get some more knowledge, just it takes a little bit of time. The powers are limited. You
Right.
have a lot of apples. Let's see.
Me?
Anything
Oh,
anything
no.
I can do for the rest of you?
Nope. I think all of us are fine. The way things are.
Vanity looks like they're trying to say something and also trying to hold themselves back.
I'll scoot up to the bars and maybe start to whisper a little bit, though. Just be like, instead of giving us something, is it possible to take away something?
You all speak very vaguely. It's quite amusing. Probably. Are we trying to get rid of hair? Unwanted possessions? The soul of someone that you hate?
Closer to the soul?
Hear that?
An essence? Perhaps a magic?
Look, I've specified that I can do the soul one pretty clearly, so yes? I'm not really sure. You're sort of just talking around
No,
this one.
it's just talking. Just shooting the shit, as the young people say.
I've been in here for a long time, and I'm still sure that's wrong.
Could Vanity have heard any of that?
Give me a perception check. No.
That would be an 11.
You didn't. You think maybe you heard like Bin mumble something, but you're not sure. It could just be him mumbling under his breath.
Would you like it if we came back and visited you while we're figuring things out?
Oh, I would welcome company. It's breaks up the, non-stop thrill a minute of that bar and that bar and that bar.
What do those bars do? Specifically.
Nothing. That was the point. I have nothing to do here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hermitage can be quite lonely, especially if it's forced on you.
Can you talk to all of us? Or why was it just September?
Oh, I probably could.
Me.
I probably could now. Now that I've met you, September was the one I could reach because of the other one. It was sort of like a big welcome to power sign.
If you're still able to be connected to me somehow, is the other one also?
That's a good question, and one you should be deeply, deeply frightened about.
So is that a no?
What part of what I just said indicated that that would be a no?
Well, it wasn't a very straight answer, was it?
You should be worried that they can be, but I don't know if they are.
Can you figure out if they are?
Oh, sure, that's something to think about.
No, like now.
Oh, no.
Great. Okay. You've been a great, huge help. Thanks for all the knowledge that's hopefully coming our way. Nothing tangible right now, but that's fine.
Well, apples,
Thanks so
those
much.
are tangible.
Enjoy your cage.
I don't particularly. I think that was the sort of general topic of this conversation.
Right, that was a little rude.
Would you like a
September.
book to read?
If you have something.
Oh, if I can have it back. So I'll pull out a book of
Sure.
From the library.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if I've got library books. Well, I know you.
I have 3 library books. I'll give him all of them. I can't read.
Okay.
And nothing's reading to me, so.
Yeah.
one of the hands will just sort of pull it back. Thank you. All right. Incidentally, I would recommend that you all get back to wherever it is you were. Last night, this gets hard to describe. I would get back to wherever you were before things started getting fucky.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, what would happen if we didn't?
You would get back to where you were, and you might not enjoy the means by which you get there.
Whew.
Like what means? Can you be more explicit, please?
Not entirely sure. Best bet, teleportation. Worst bet, you just kind of automatically walk there without paying attention to what you're running into with your little flesh bits.
I do enjoy my flesh bits.
Yes.
So maybe we should.
I think we all enjoy our flesh bits.
Some more than others, Cantor.
Yes, and I definitely want to keep the apples.
Yeah, they're yours. That's fine.
Okay.
I suppose then we'll see you tomorrow.
Perhaps.
It's a
Well, I
day.
mean, if you ever get to see tomorrow.
We'll see you in the next go round of this day.
If you have the time for it, would be appreciated. Toodaloo.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Carrying the crate of apples.
All right, I'll head back up the stairs. These are a lot of stairs. Jesus.
Yes.
Mary and Joseph. That went more Irish.
I was going to say, that went real Irish. Yeah. Do you want to head back to the domicile?
I'd say.
Yeah,
yes.
probably should.
Probably by the time we get up all the stairs and make our way through everything, it's probably time to be where we should
Yeah,
be.
you've been going for a while. You would guess it's near on midnight at this point.
Mhm.
Oof.
But yeah, if you go in.
Immediately upon going through the wall back into the main tower, Cantor kind of just like looks, subtly, hopefully, inside his bag to see what color the whistle is.
As you
Says
look in,
orange
right as you go
white.
through, you see a wisp of what looks like stone with like the texture of a liquid being absorbed into the whistle.
Into the whistle again?
Cool.
So it doubled down? So your whistle just keeps taking from this wall. That's
Eventually, it's going to open it up.
interesting. Okay.
Tomorrow,
Love it.
let's come back and poof, 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 put your whistle in and out of it a bunch of times.
Well, he had already done a few tonight. That's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say it right here. I like the guy. I like him.
I do too.
I'm scared of him,
I do.
and I think all of us should be a bit scared of him. But I like him.
What can he do? He's in a cage. Why do we have to be scared of him?
Because we're gonna free him.
They have
Well,
their
I
own
mean-
agenda that we don't know. I'm certain of that.
We're gonna free him if he actually follows through on any of this. So far, what has he given us? A riddle, wavy hands,
Apples.
and apples. I don't care about the apples, Ban Bon.
People shouldn't be free for what
And-
they can give you.
Fine.
September. People should just be free, I think.
All people? Nobody
All
should be in
people.
jail?
No one should be in
Caged.
jail.
Nobody.
Fuck the authorities.
I think we need to find out a little more about the Legion and specifically exhilaration, if at all possible,
It's a big
and
name.
why they're in there.
Can we just call him X or something? I like X.
Yeah, I like X.
So I'll think in my head, exhilaration, are you there?
I think I did warn you that it would be good to go to sleep sooner rather than later, but yes.
We're
Also,
on our
where
way, we're
else
on our
would
way.
I go?
Yeah, we're walking, we're going.
This is
Yeah.
this is a walk and talk.
So Ben would like to call you Ed. Is that all right?
sure. Why not?
And can we all hear this?
No,
And-
this is in your head.
Okay. Oh, hey, Ben, I just asked, and yes, we could call them X.
X. Okay, great. Well, we're here at our rooms. I nothing delayed us on the way, which is great. So let's go on and go to sleep, and we'll see you in the morning. And everyone try to hold on to yourself.
Do we have to go to sleep?
I'm gonna read.
Don't know if we're forced to or what.
If we're supposed to be doing what we did before things went fucky, I was up late reading. So
I was being read
But what
to.
if we kept watch to see if something actually happens?
Please feel free. I am tired. I turned into a salamander tonight. Banbon, a salamander. It's not easy.
Yeah. You also entangled us.
That was easier.
Again.
Accidentally easier. I didn't mean that.
it's been a
Trying to
long
detect
day.
magic. I'm going to sleep. I need the rest. If you want to stay up, please be my guest.
I'm gonna read my book and then go to sleep. Sorry, Banbon. Enjoy your apples and staring at whatever happens.
All right, so
I
who all's going to sleep? In Vanity.
I don't know.
September
reading my
is
book
September is
first.
reading and then going to sleep.
Yeah. I feel like as everyone else kind of starts branching off into the rooms, Kentor kind of stands there by Banbon. You know, I am sort of curious. After all, my suggestion was going to be running as far as possible from this place and seeing what happens. According to Exhilaration, we would have either been teleported or had our flesh bits forced back, which does not sound pleasant.
No.
But I am curious if we're already here, what happens. Very curious.
So, are we staying up?
I'm saying late night slumber party. That's what I'm saying.
With apples!
Right.
And I'll hold up apples in each hand.
So the two of you are not going to sleep.
No.
I guess not.
Everybody else is going to do that. All right. You all wake up in the morning in your beds.
That's good.
Uh,
Good start.
As level 4.
That's even better.
Banbon and Cantor. Cantor, you notice something on like your door isn't closed, which you always do to like your actually separated bedroom. And the only other thing of any note, Lena, September's 4th level is Great Old One Warlock.
Fuck! Okay, cool.
All right. We are going to take a break here, and then we'll be back to do day 2, go around 3. So
Day 2-3.
grab. It's actually on the thing as 2.3. That's how I've been doing it because I didn't want to give it away too much, and I was like, okay, that seems close enough. But yeah, grab a drink, grab a snack, stretch your legs, manage your fluids, as Andy would say. Manage your fluids, as Ben would say. Yeah, we'll be back in just a few.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. We should be back. There we go. I had kept the players muted, unfortunately. Now it works. So, in the first half, we followed the apple, had some debates, followed the apple some more, had some more debates, followed the apple some more, had a nice conversation with a charming creature called Exhilaration of the Legion, who proposed a deal of helping the crew get out of the prison that they find themselves trapped in exchange for them being them providing assistance to them to get out of their own prison. September eagerly took this deal in exchange for knowledge, resulting in September now having a level of Warlock. I also realized, because I wasn't showing the map because the map hasn't been very important, people did not see when I described to them what they saw. This is what they saw. The creature with just a smile and glowing eyes and lots of very wrong hands. But yeah, you all wake up back in your bed. Cantor and Van Bond's attempts to stay up and catch Santa Claus didn't particularly work because you don't remember going to sleep. You don't remember like getting sleepy, and also you didn't I assume you were like sitting out in the common room trying to sort of catch what was going on. You didn't wake up like asleep on the couch. You were back in your
back in our
rooms.
beds. Do I still have the crate of apples?
Yes, you still have the crate of apples.
Hey, win.
So let's go ahead and roll hit points for our level up. As a reminder to anyone who is new, the way we do HP is the players roll their hit die, and then they have the choice of either keeping their result or having me roll. They're stuck with my roll if they take that.
I'll go first. 5.
Oh, good. You're on the upper end of half.
I guess. Yeah. I guess I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll go. We get a D8.
I believe
You
so,
do?
yes.
Yes.
Bards, yeah.
I also got a 5. I'll keep it.
How many more times can we be on the upper end of the halfway point?
I gotta
Will it be
remember how
another
we do
5?
health. Hit points. It's been forever. I feel like. What do I roll? I'm a D6.
Cantor rolled a
Ooh,
6.
Yes,
We
it's
add our
good.
con mod
Yeah.
too.
Yes,
And
and
you
add
add
your
your
con
Forgot about that. Yay.
First sorcerer of level. What does that mean? Like, how
So when you
much
gain a
do
level,
we
you
get?
roll 1.
You roll 1. Yeah, in this case, because you just add one more on.
And
So
then your Constitution mod.
roll a
whatever it is.
d6 plus your Constitution modifier, and that will be your how much HP you add. You can switch out your d6 roll for me rolling a d6.
And then whatever you get, I add 1 to it, and then I add that to the health I currently have, right?
Yep, to the health you currently have and your maximum health. Okay.
Fuck it. Roll for me.
Go.
Roll for me, go away.
Wait, you rolled a 6?
3.
No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, okay, good. Someone rolled a 6, I think.
It got worse.
Joel rolled a 7. Well,
Well, I don't know what you've rolled because roll 20
It's
is
a 1.
still.
oh god.
That's a 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 1 plus your con mod.
So I get to add 2. So I'm at
2.
27 HP.
I'm at
You're only
28.
1 down from me.
Yeah.
28.
This is a squishy group.
Squishy,
so.
squishy, squishy.
Mhm.
Maybe I should have taken the heal feat.
Since my level is in Warlock, is it a D8 then?
Yes.
And is one of my hit dice for recovering HP using hit dice also
Yes.
a D8 and the other 3 are D6 still? Okay.
Yes. Low side of half.
I rolled a 4, so I guess roll for me, Galway. Also a 4. Okay, that's
Was
fine.
destined to be
Everyone except Joel rolled on either the high side of half or the low side of half.
Yeah.
All right. You have woken up. You have access to your new abilities. Everything seems normal, though in your hearts and heads, you are fully prepared for this to once again welcome to the first day of class. You walk out into the living room, and Guide floats up and will sort of slowly pulse lights, not the weird flickering it was doing before. It's sort of like, I seem to be here. Oh, okay.
Does this sound like the globe normally does?
Yeah, a little more conversational,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's I'm trying to remember Guide's voice.
Yeah.
He had
just
asked
measured
Guide to
before, I think.
do something. To
Guide was working on figuring out the sort of his backlog and figuring out like what day it was and stuff. And
Yeah. Guide's gonna
there
sort of be
were
like, just to be sure, what day
Yes.
do you think it is?
That's a great question. So we believe that this is the 4th day of school.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that you hadn't proceeded to lose your memories the way everyone else apparently has been. Yes.
Guide,
You
welcome.
do you need to be charged?
No, that was what was handled overnight. Yes, I don't
Very
know.
excited to have you back.
I do not know why, but I seem to have been able to shake off some of the confusion. But yes, it is the same thing that I think I mentioned to you. The logs suggest that this is the 2nd day, but some of my internal monitoring suggests that this is in fact the 4th day of
Yes.
your period of time. So those logs are not automated. They are handled by individuals, most likely Mentor Zellum themselves, which indicates that they do not know what day it is.
Do you keep records of when your programming changes to a bit? Updates and that sort of thing.
No, I am unaware of any changes that have been made to me. My consciousness does not extend through those junctures.
Sure.
Can you tell us anything about Hassan Rilla?
Chasen Rilib,
That's a great question.
founder of the Unity branch of the Convocation Arcanum. I
Oh,
believe half-elf? That's a thing. Remember?
He sounds like a half elf.
I would think Chasenrilib was a half-elf. Whatever Chasenrilib was. I'll note to self, go look up the balance. While not a high-level commander in the Convocation Arcanum, his school of thought and the necessity of combining magical means with the other armaments of the Convocation Arcanum has become increasingly influential in recent years. His Unity faction is also considered to pose an extreme danger to students such as yourselves through their desire to conscript you into service.
do you know anything about exhilaration of the Legion?
Or the Legion in general.
I don't, but I have the sense that I do. I think there is information that I am not able to access currently that might have more information on this.
That could be important.
Guide, do you have any knowledge of any hidden or otherwise rooms in the basement of the main tower? Are you running into similar blocked information?
Yes. There appear to be details about the tower that are specifically covered so that I could not give you directions to them accidentally. I could attempt to work on accessing these if you wish. It will require most of my focus.
How are you at riddles?
I don't precisely know how to answer that.
It's a riddle.
It's a riddle.
Yes.
Let's see. One was removed, so one could be installed.
Should we tell Guide what Acceleration told us? Or do we think that might cause harm?
I mean, I'm friends with. I like the guide.
Depends on whether the guide has opinions.
I'm hesitant because when we started pushing the mentors, they sometimes took damage or went blank, and I don't want to cause harm to Guide.
Guide seems already pretty aware of what's going on, and no harm has come to them. Well, at least we're talking to them.
If I could presuppose a hypothesis for this,
he's maybe not the right kind. Remember, Acceleration said that too.
Mentioned something that food supplies were perhaps becoming a concern. It seems to me that it is, as you say, the unliving aspects of the school are unaffected by this. They proceed forward normally. The food disappears, materials will be used up, but those things that are alive are affected by it in some way. And perhaps that would explain why I was somewhat affected, but not fully. I possess consciousness and thought, but am not truly alive.
That actually reminds me of something that I'm trying to do myself. And I'll sort of go outside and head around looking for my squirrel friend that I talked to yesterday.
So you're going to sort of skip breakfast and head out?
I'm undead. Are the rest of you undead? Is that why you're not affected? Is that why I'm not affected?
I'm definitely not undead. I'm pretty sure I'm alive.
But how do you know
resurrected?
I have a heart.
Memories altered.
Do you have a heartbeat, September?
No.
I have a heartbeat, so I think that would. Would you bleed?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you bleed when you're cut?
Well, I ooze.
Moving wrong topic.
I know. So I'll tell Guide what happened and what.
That feels concerning. I think that's the right word. Concerning. I think that is the emotion that I would be having if I had emotions.
Concerning, but part of me feels as though if the unity has locked up this being, we potentially want to release it. This is a potentially good sign that releasing it is the right thing to do.
yes, it might follow under the adage of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but also, just a moment. Incidentally, one of the orbs of light has followed you. Bin appears to be talking to squirrels. Does this happen a lot now? Did I miss something?
Yes.
Okay.
He's had a squirrel friend.
Okay. I do not know whether it is advisable to release the creature that you refer to as exhilaration or not, but I
Well,
can
we have
try
to
to.
anyways.
I can try to look more into it.
Look into how it's doing, how they're doing the things they do.
September, you do have a stronger sense of some of that. You woke with more of a sense of mental connection and mental magics and the ability to connect minds in a way that isn't flowing through spells as you're used to them. Meanwhile, Bin, sorry, what are you doing?
Talking to the squirrel that I was talking to yesterday. Mostly because I want to try to check to see if he remembers me and what I gave him some food. And me and Kingston actually used him as messenger squirrel. So I'm just hoping he remembers that.
So you see the squirrel that you think it was. God, what do we call them? Name? It was Name.
Name.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So you see a squirrel you're pretty sure is Name on the branch of a tree.
Great. I'll cast, spend 10 minutes casting speak to animals.
Instead,
Then,
Entangle erupts, killing
Oh,
Name.
no. Oh, no.
No. Yeah, so you have to speak with animals up. Incidentally, in the 10 minutes that he's spending doing that, are you all going to breakfast? Are you wandering out to find Bin? Doing something else?
So if we wanted to try to steal the logs today, I know a spell that might help.
Ooh.
Okay.
Actually, that might be really good. Oh, I'm not there.
But yeah, so you're thinking that, but so you say that, and then are you heading to find Bin?
I think probably.
So no breakfast? Wow.
I would like to pop down to the commissary area.
Sure. You find Arbus Quard is looking frantic, with trying to. Most of the food now for breakfast are just good berries. And yeah, that's about the shape of that.
Munching on an apple.
You're going to see her eye slide to you slightly and just. Yeah. So perhaps as they're getting breakfast / finding you, speak with animals is up.
All right. Name. Squirrel friend over there. Come on down. I've just I got a bit of grain for you if you don't mind. If you want some food. Food. That's right. Do you remember me? Do you remember me giving you food yesterday?
Give food?
I mean, I'll give you food. Here's
Give
some
food.
Here's some oats.
Give food.
Good. Now, what do you remember about yesterday? We talked. I was a good friend of yours. Do you remember this?
Who are you?
My name is Kingston.
Okay. Give
Cool.
food?
I gave you a little bit of food. Come see me tomorrow, and you get more food. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, shit. I'll kind of brush myself off. Look around for friends. See if anyone's around.
At this point, you could all be out and in essence, you've eaten very quickly. Even those of you who have gone down, you've eaten very quickly compared to most people. So you're out in the courtyard well in advance of needing to go to class.
Most people are nibbling their good berry.
Yeah.
Well, so I tried an experiment where I was talking to a squirrel yesterday, had some
Experiments are
information.
great.
We used them a lot. Well, yes, of course. But this experiment then told me that even the animals in the area are affected by whatever's happening. So
Are you
the orb
sure you're
was,
not all dead?
I'm pretty sure not all the animals are dead either. And yet,
Right, but the animals are affected. We're not.
oh, I see what you're saying.
So
Sure.
can I just cut you a little?
No, I mean, I can cut myself a little if you want to see blood.
Yeah, do you want to see if you bleed properly? Maybe we're all dead.
Well, it's proper bleeding. Anyway,
How
here,
about
I'll
we
just.
feel for a pulse? Or
That's another way to do it.
I'm not
Less-
a doctor, Vanity.
All right. So blood it is, and I'll cut just a little bit under my thumb here. Does it bleed?
You bleed normally. Also, it hurts.
That's pretty proper bleeding, if I say so myself.
Okay. Well, it was a good theory.
Well, it was
What?
good theory. Okay.
It was a good theory. You have to test theories like you were doing with the
Sure.
animals.
Okay. Well,
I'm struggling
Fair.
with player knowledge from another game.
So
that-
two thoughts for how we're gonna spend our second day. Third second day? I think
Third
we're
second
third
day,
second
yeah.
day. Wow. Okay. One, I can now have a disc float behind me that can carry 500 pounds, so you don't have to turn into a bear if you want to steal the whole log cabinet.
just push it
Yeah,
over.
because that went real well the last time.
Well, we didn't have a floating disc last time, did we, Banbon?
It's true, we didn't.
What difference would it have made? We had Benbon turn into a bear. We couldn't get it in and out in time.
Go really fast now.
Right. Sure, should be fine.
I can do both those things.
Plus, we could
but
try
the
to
other
unlock
thought
it
is-
again. Last time we messed up that.
Right.
Just saying.
We don't need that anymore.
Right.
Because
So maybe we
God
think
is
about the
with
riddle instead. And the riddle is the riddle
One
is
was taken away.
one was taken away
that
so one could be installed, right? So
First-
one could be a person or a thing, right? So
Do
a
we
person
have an
could have been taken
imposter?
away.
In our midst.
Right.
Right.
Right. So do we need to go around cutting people to see if they bleed normally to test that theory? Or it could
we
also
could
be
feel for
an
the
object, a
pulse.
thing. And I know that I don't know this actually because you didn't share this information with us enough, all the chaos. But anyway, there was some things that Lachlan said to you about items that maybe you could fill that in because I don't actually know that.
Fair.
Mhm.
So, what did Lachlan say about items?
So Lachlan said that the other professors were in Astra last night because several medical devices. Maybe that should say magical. That probably should say
Yeah.
magical. That's a weird typo.
Right.
Magical devices in the city were sabotaged.
Yes.
The magical devices were used as a system of linking. This is one of them. One of them was used as a system of linking crystals to provide light.
Mhm.
There was also something that helped propel water.
Yeah.
And then there was a cart that had magical reinforcements on it for
Yeah.
carrying more weight.
Mhm.
The enchantments all on that one stopped working and it shattered under the load it was carrying, and it was carrying merchants' goods. But I think all of these broke. And I don't know if that's a cover for chaos, basically, to get an imposter in here, or because they got them to leave the grounds, then they just switched them out there. So I don't know if it's an imposter thing or if the one is related to those items somehow.
So that also would be a good place to switch one of the professors who came back.
Right.
So we're pretty sure it's not our friend I'm looking through the
Rindom?
dossier. Rindom. right?
So which professors left?
Rindam, Zelen, Lachlan. I just wrote down the professor of astronomy. I don't know if there was an
Yep,
actual name.
that's all I got too. Other profs that went were Zelen, astronomy, a question mark.
Yeah, that's who went. It was 3 of them. There were 3 sites.
Mm-hmm. We were
So
also
we've
told that
talked-
something. Go ahead, Lena.
No, you go ahead.
We were told that something obviously, reacted or went wrong with the systems that Mentor Zelen made, but we were also told that the systems can't, blow up even if they tried, meaning that something else went weird. Is it possible that a part of this magical system was replaced, one removed so one could be installed?
Oh.
The language does feel a bit technical, doesn't it?
Indeed.
I was wondering if it was
Could still be people.
the guides. Yeah, the guides or something also, or maybe fucking with.
So
We talked to Lachlan already, and he seemed actually quite forthcoming about the knowledge that he had. It feels like if he were an imposter, that would have been a bit more shaded. So I'm
we talked to
feeling,
Rindam.
and we talked to Rindam, and we've been inside Rindam's head, and that didn't go well. But I think that is also evidence for not an imposter. So perhaps the third professor we should talk to, and then maybe make a trip to Astra.
It was also suggested that we talk to Ikthen to ask him how to weaken Astra before an attack. Now, it strikes me that if these magical items were targeted and that is replaced, perhaps that is a way to weaken Astra before an attack.
I mean, perhaps. Do we get water from Astra? Is that part of that pumping system? I would
guide
wouldn't
next
even
to you
guess.
will sort of be like, no, the school has its own water reserves.
supply. Light. I mean, I don't know how light then and carrying goods in a cart would help that much.
And if they were trying to attack, I don't know, Exhilaration X, we're calling them X,
X.
didn't make it sound. It sounded like they were trying to do something besides attack, right? They said that.
Obliterate.
Well, they
right,
wanted
but
to obliterate
also
the 5 of us.
they said that they're singularly working towards something. So, I mean, I guess could be, destruction of all mortals, I think is the word Acceleration used. It could be that, or it could be, I mean, it could still be attack, but with a different reason and a different cause, right? A different meaning, different intent. I don't know if we need to try to figure out what was taken away and put in the place, or if we should try to figure out what they're trying to do.
Well, okay, so on that, something that X was saying kind of stuck with me. Why? First of all, we seem to be different, a little bit unaffected by this. Why would whatever's doing this want to obliterate the 5 of us? Is a good question.
Because we're unaffected. Excuse me.
Perhaps we're unaffected, but perhaps the whole reason this thing happened was to get to us in the first place.
But what's so special about us?
Right.
The only thing that's happened to us has been the red crystal trials thing. But hypothetically, this has happened to other people before. They made it sound like, this is just the trials. Go ahead and do the trials. We've done this before. Did they do something different with our trials this time?
Maybe, perhaps that's just who we are. Is we were just able to make this happen this way. So who
And-
would we be valuable to?
But I also don't
You.
know if they want to obliterate us specifically, or if it was trying to obliterate my brain to have brain control over me like it does over everybody else. And then
But
X
what's
stepped in
the
and stopped
end?
it.
Well, it sounded
Well, that's
like
what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, what's the end, right? Why are they trying to? What are they trying to do here? Is it an attack? Is it to
Well, that's
find
what
something?
so that's what I'm saying. Vanity said it correctly. We are probably most valuable to the Unity as a group. The Unity super desires us to conscript us into whatever evil, dark machinations they have planned. So then who would want to keep us out of their hands the most? I think it might be another member of the Legion.
It's possible that another member of the Legion, coerced in some way, Chessum Willow, I'm bad with names, and convinced them to lock away exhilaration because, I don't know, they hate each other or something. But if they're Legion, you would think that perhaps they wouldn't want
Well,
to hurt each other. Go ahead.
So also, X said that the Legion doesn't necessarily know where he is, and that he would like to keep it that way. Or maybe not the Legion, but whoever is messing with us doesn't know exactly maybe he's there, and so he'd like to keep that way.
X said
What if
it was
it's
the
the
Legion
Legion?
messing with us. X said it was the Legion messing with us.
Doing
X
the
said it was
whole-
another member of the Legion.
Is an,
Oh,
an
was that straight up?
Probably.
right?
Probably.
I think I heard
They didn't
probably.
know for sure, but they suspected it was so.
Because the energies that were being used, he seemed to be able to piggyback off of and get a little bit more amplification from it, which makes me think Legion as well, which is
Yeah,
probably
X
why he
seemed
thought it.
pretty sure that it was the Legion, which is why I'm trying to figure out like what do they want, right? If X said that they're trying to, what was the phrasing? That they are singularly working towards something. How does this play into that? What does what they're doing here? And maybe we can't know what that until we know what they're working towards. And so maybe the answer is just trying to solve X's riddle instead of trying to figure out what they're working towards.
Perhaps, I mean, I'm wondering if they're working towards this group of people in Astra Academy right now not being taken over by the Unity, not being
Wait,
conscripted.
so you think they're trying to, they're brain controlling everybody here to try to keep the Unity from taking over?
It's part of the plan to obliterate us. Yes.
To obliterate us or the Union, or Unity,
To
mortals in general.
the brain thing he seemed to suggest was ultimately part of the act to obliterate us, and he seemed pretty specific that it was the 5 of us.
Thought he said mortals in general.
Yeah, I thought he said mortals in general.
So we asked him, so is it everyone or is it just us? Like, are they going to kill everyone? And his answer was, yeah, they don't fucking care. They should they'll kill everyone, but it seems like their goal was us.
I'm not sure obliteration is the goal. I'm not sure it's the intent. Think it's a side effect. I think they're doing something here to try to get towards something else,
Yeah.
and they're brain controlling and obliterating people's minds, and they don't care how many they get through or destroy to do it. But I don't think that's the end goal.
I mean, you're right. We did uncover one secret in this place. Surely there's more.
Really?
Stuff hidden here, stuff protected here.
As you've been
Maybe that is the goal. Yeah.
As you've been sitting talking about this, other students have completed their breakfasts and are moving across the courtyard. from the domicile to the East classroom. Vanity, you notice, because you always watch a crowd, that most of them are talking, just going about their business. One person looks at you all and looks surprised. And that is Alira Rents, one of the members of group, a cleric. You met her at the lunch, which is later today. But she looks legitimately and when you do, you're going to sort of see her pull back and wave, but hesitantly.
I'll stay into her mind with message. What day is it?
God, finally someone else who notices something going on.
Wow.
And that is where we will wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for lots of good story. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to everybody watching. We will pick this up again. I don't remember when, but next week, Friday, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. somewhere in the world. We will have Ghosts and Dragons: The Fates of Rin as we find ourselves in a literal sticky situation. But yeah, from all's here at Helpful Goat. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Stay safe, be well, find yourselves and to each other. Bye.
We love you guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much.